Good evening, YouTube. All right, I am finished working out. I did 45 minutes of cardio. So I did that elliptical. Well, it's not like the traditional elliptical, but I did that for 30 minutes, and then I did rowing. Now, let me tell you, I was like, whew, I was out of it. But then I was so dang thirsty. The minute I finished, I had I was like hogging up the dang water fountain. So I said, you know what? Without proper hydration, there is no way that you're going to properly get in your cardio. And you need water is the main source for your metabolism. So I know I am not to say I don't like drinking water. It's just sometimes, you get so preoccupied. You be in the car driving all day long, drive. And then what's going on up here? Oh, Lord Jesus Christ. You better have some car trouble, because this is damn ridiculous. Look like you trying to wait for people. Ooh. Don't park right there and stay there. And ain't nothing going on. Oh, Lord. You know what? Let me stop venting. Let me woosa. Anyways, back to my video. Alright, so I did 40 minutes of cardio. I did the rowing and this I don't know what it is. It's not I only seen this particular type of machine at the Y and not LA Fitness, but Lifetime Fitness. So they don't have this particular. It's like an elliptical, but you could do you could work your quads, cardio, just a whole bunch of different elements of your body. So this is my beginning of my weight loss journey. Now, I never did really fully tell the story about my weight loss journey. So most of my life I was very, I was skinny, typical, teenage, people used to call me olive oil because I was skinny. And I'm 5'8", so I'm pretty tall. And during my 20s or so, when I went to college, I played basketball. I had learned to fence. And when I went to college in New York, I didn't have a car. So every place I went, you had to walk. I would walk for probably like an hour, 2 hours at a time, just walking, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 miles easily. And of course, anyone from New York, you'd be walking up those long subway train stairs, flights, and I was just a walking fool, just walking throughout it, in the Central Park, Prospect Park in Brooklyn, just walking, I didn't have a car. And then when I went to South Carolina and, transferred and lived on campus, and even when I lived off campus, I didn't have a car. I walked all through campus. I used to walk from the bus back to the apartment. That was like maybe a good 2-3 miles. I was walking all over the place, I could tell you. And I never was a person who used to eat fast foods. Even when I lived in New York all my life, the most that I'll eat in fast food would probably be White Castle, and those little old mini burgers, and it used to be real beef. It used to be real food back then. All these fast food places, I don't know. They put too much back in the day. They didn't put a whole bunch of junk in their foods. But I didn't eat fast food. One part of it was I used to keep my money in my pocket. And I used to eat at home all the time, On the weekends, when we said we eating our lunch, we ate at home. And going to getting a slice of pizza, not that Papa John's crap, the real New York pizza. It was like thin, and used to fold it up in half. One pizza would suffice. One little slice of pizza. That was good enough. And that was a treat. So, growing up, even as an adult, in my 20s, I just, eating fast food was just not the thing. Let me tell you, I remember when I had my first fast food. It was Wendy's. And I had, was chosen to go to San Francisco to represent my high school. And I remember going to San Francisco. I was in the 11th grade. And let me see, it would have been 1986? No, 85, 86, something like that. That was the first time I've ever ate fast food in San Francisco. And it was Wendy's. And I remember telling someone that. They said, "What? You never had Wendy's?" I said, "Nope." And that was my first time. So during my 20s, early part of 30s, when I first moved to Atlanta in 1996, I graduated from South Carolina in 94 and 96. So I was still, 100 and something pounds. I was not overweight at all. When I graduated from college in 94 and moved to Atlanta in 96, February 14th, 1996, the Olympic year, I was nowhere close to 300 pounds. I was nowhere close to even mid 200s. And then I was like, what? Maybe the high 100 pounds or I think I was like 225. But people say, "You don't look like you're 225. I was 200 pounds. But I was built, I had muscle, it wasn't all this body fat or anything else like that. Now, my weight loss, weight gain or weight issues started, I would say, I want to say 35. Yep, 35. So I'm 48. So 13 years I have picked up and blew up to 300 pounds. I remember when I even turned 300 pounds. My grandmother, I love her to death, but she is so negative. You're gonna be 300 pounds, Now, it always say don't let people speak words over you or take any kind of, don't let people speak words over you, especially negative words. And I think at that time I was going through a lot. I was going through so much at that time. And I think that I was holding on to a lot of different things, guilt. I was holding on to a lot of guilt. I was punishing myself, I guess you could say. Now, some of y'all know my story, and it was, during that time of my life that I suddenly just, I won't say suddenly, but I won't say I was an emotional eater, but at that point, you'd be surprised how 10 years could just pass through your life. And you could gain 10 pounds every year. You know how people say you gain 10 pounds every year? But if you let those 10 pounds multiply to 10 times 10, 100, And then you multiply that by 13. You see what I'm saying? 130 pounds. Really? So, 2 years ago, after having numerous co-workers, former co-workers rather, passed away. And a couple of them were real close to me. You know, I was so shocked. I was heartbroken when you come to work one day and someone says, oh, so-and-so passed. But this became so frequent at the IRS. Every single day, somebody came and said, so-and-so passed, so-and-so passed. What? I mean, people were dropping dead like, they were like, boom, boom, boom. And like I told y'all, 2 of them passed at work. One was at the desk, talking to a taxpayer on the phone, put them on hold. Next thing you know, they boom, fell out of the desk. They, supervisor, they was like, oh, so why are you not on the phone? Or why are you in hold? They didn't even get up their lazy asses to check on the person to see what they was doing. So after it started, they didn't respond after 30 minutes, 40 minutes, I think. Then they come to the desk and saw that the person was passed out at the desk. They had a cousin who worked there. And they came down, and then next thing you know, they had the ambulance, and they said she died at her desk. She was a big girl, big girl. Young, passed out, died. Somebody else came to work. Husband dropped him off, right in the atrium, dropped dead.